This is Leroy, Grandpa's prize rooster. This is his barn. That's his flock. Now that's. Wait a minute. Johnny? Johnny, no! Whoops! Ah! Ah! Get in the house! Get in the house! Quick! Help! Help! Johnny, are you all right? Johnny sat on the floor, leaned against the wall, and panted breathlessly. Johnny, are you all right? Yes, sir, Johnny said, sobbing. Johnny, you should not throw stones at the chickens. Leroy does not like it when anyone messes with his hens. Besides, that's not very nice. Okay, Grandpa, I won't do it anymore. I was just trying to see if they would fly. I never see them fly. They just run around in the chicken run. Can they fly like other birds? Grandpa lovingly replied to his grandson, They do fly, Johnny. However, they get most of their food on the ground, so they don't need to fly as often. They are also a little bit heavy. Leroy was scary when he came at me with those clothes or whatever. Spurs. They're called spurs, Johnny. I'm just glad that you're okay. Johnny nodded. Don't be scared. It's all over now. You're safe. There. All done. Keep that bandage clean. I'll change it tomorrow. I will go out and feed the chickens myself this morning. You've had enough for one, well, for the time being. There's buttermilk pancakes and scrambled eggs for you in the kitchen, Grandma hollered as she stood at the stove. She smiled. She was always smiling. Yes, ma'am. Johnny made it to the table. The beating in his chest finally subsided. His grandma and grandpa's kindness comforted him. He still felt a twinge of guilt, though, when he looked at the eggs. Those hens he frightened gave him food. He wasn't sure if he wanted anything. But he was hungry. So he wolfed the food down in one gulp. After breakfast, Johnny went to his room and sat on his bed and looked out the window. He could see Grandpa in the chicken run with all the chickens around him and on him. All the chickens loved Grandpa. It made Johnny smile and laugh. Then he saw Leroy. Leroy saw him. Leroy squared his wings and all but taunted Johnny into battle. I wish something happens to that rotten rooster. You ought to know what it feels like to be scared and in pain. Johnny moved away from the window. Unbeknownst to him, he would get his wish. Later that evening, just before supper, Grandpa and Grandma were at the kitchen table, reading the Bible. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Johnny approached and heard his grandpa read the words from Isaiah 53:5. Grandpa invited Johnny to join them for worship. Grandpa, who are you reading about? Jesus. Jesus? Yes, Jesus is our Savior. Grandpa explained it to Johnny this way. Johnny, yes, sir? Let's pretend that there was a raccoon who was coming after the chickens. Johnny listened eagerly. Leroy would scare off the raccoon, right? I guess so. He would protect the hens, Johnny said. Let's pretend that the raccoon disguised himself as a bunny rabbit. Let's say he spoke to one of the chickens who was near a small opening in the chicken run. Uh oh! Johnny somehow knew that that was trouble. Exactly. Now, imagine with me. Hey, Miss Chicken, look what I found. Cluck, cluck. What is it? It's a way to get into the big yard. The bunny hopped around the big yard. Cluck, cluck. That looks like fun. But Pa said we could be hurt if we go into the big yard. Boing, boing, boing. Do I look hurt to you? I'm having so much fun in this big yard. You can too. Don't listen to Pa. The chicken thought for a moment and tried to get through the opening. She hurt herself. She ran back into the coop injured. When I found out, I put Leroy in the coop with the chickens. Leroy guarded the coop later that night because of what happened. Then the bunny rabbit came by and slipped into the chicken run. He slipped through the opening that was made a little bigger by the injured chicken. This time, though, his disguise was no disguise. Not for Leroy. They fought ferociously. He scared the raccoon off and saved not only the injured chicken, but all the other chickens as well. Grandpa, that makes Leroy a hero, right? Right. Did Leroy get hurt? Yes, Johnny. The raccoon got hurt badly, but so did Leroy. He took the beating to protect the ones he loves. Jesus did the same for us. Johnny's eyes misted. Grandpa, when you were in the chicken run, I saw Leroy square his wings at me. Oh? I wanted him to get hurt because I got hurt. I thought he was mean. I don't want him hurt anymore. He's a hero. Shortly afterwards, they all prayed, had supper, and soon went to bed. Later that night, while everyone slept soundly, Wiley the raccoon paid a stealthy visit to the farm that night. He found a small opening in the fence around the chicken run. He crept into the run, widening the gap made by the opening, and Leroy! He intercepted Wiley and took quite a beating. It was a ferocious fight. Leroy fought brave and long and seemingly unending until clang, 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 clang. Grandpa made such a ruckus with a pair of garbage can lids. It scared the raccoon so much that he scampered away, zigging and zagging as though dizzy from all the beating he got from Leroy. He even had a limp. Grandpa made it over to the chicken run just as Wiley escaped. He began to assess the damage done. He was saddened to see Leroy all banged up. He looked unconscious. Grandma rushed from inside the house toward Grandpa. What happened, dear? I heard the commotion. Leroy! Grandma began to cry. It's okay, my love. Go on back inside the house. I will handle everything. Grandma turned about hesitantly and went back into the house, sobbing. Johnny woke up from all the clamor. He looked through the window. There, in the light of dawn, was Leroy, lying on his back on the ground of the chicken run, motionless. Johnny felt terrible. He still blamed himself, remembering what he wanted. He wanted Leroy to get hurt and scared. It's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault, Johnny said. What? Grandma could hardly believe her ears. What are you talking about? I did it! I did it! I know I did it! I hurt Leroy! I just wanted him to get beat up and hurt because I saw him in the chicken run with Grandpa yesterday. I got scared when he was looking at me and I didn't mean I. Johnny didn't even take a breath. Oh no, Johnny, it's all right. You already said you were sorry. Yeah, but just then. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Grandma and Johnny both gasped. And Grandma said, Is that Leroy? Johnny's eyes looked hopeful. The door flung open. It was Grandpa. Johnny's heart beat rapidly in his chest. There was an awkward silence. Then Grandpa smiled and said, Leroy is fine. What? Grandma and Johnny were both shocked and elated. He took a beating, but he's a strong rooster. He just got up like it was a resurrection. He went around the chicken run, checking on all the hens and on all his children, making sure every one of them was safe. Wow! Leroy's alive! Yay! Johnny was relieved. Oh, thank goodness! He is one relentless rooster, that's for sure, Grandma said. Everyone was joyful, and from that day on, Johnny always called Leroy the Relentless Rooster. Now that, my dear grandson, is the story about how I got this scar from Leroy, the Relentless Rooster. It is also the story about how I learned about Jesus because of Leroy, the Relentless Rooster. It's the same story that I told your mommy when she was a little girl. Then she promised that when she grew up one day and marries your daddy, which she did, she would name her first son Leroy. And that's how you got your name. Wow! I was named after a rooster? Not just any rooster. Leroy, the Relentless Rooster, Grandpa Johnny said. Leroy giggled. Then Johnny hugged his grandson and tucked him in bed and said, Good night, Leroy. See you in the morning, bright and early. There's lots to do on the old farm. The end.